day. Look, take a look up at the world, tell me what you see. A whole lot of people that trust in their enemies. Zombies look at them sleep, they obeying the beast. You can't come up in the store without a mask, you gotta leave. Soon they gon' say the same about that vaccine. Soon they gon' say the same about the mark of the beast. Try to wake my people up, feel like they like this bad dream. They say black's number one, the corona that they scheme. I'ma save the soul, I want a crown upon my head. If you believe in Christ, then you'll do just what he said. Teach them about repentance, be the light they need to see. We in the last days, make sure your soul is prepared. Take a look up at this madness, they going cashless. I'll be speeding up the time, man, it's coming faster. Can't get solutions from the world, they ain't got the answer. Can't get solutions from the world, they ain't got the answer. All I want is you. You must rip through my heart, you the light and it shines so true. All I want is you. You must rip through my heart, you the light and it shines so true. We really in it for salvation, he coming back, gotta be paid. Keep it commandments while we wait. I'm Marciago, come and save. Love yourself and love your neighbor. He gon' reward you for your labor. We were chosen, we were favored. I will watch and obey. All I want is you. You must rip through my heart, you the light and it shines so true.
One issue that has come up is once you do have a vaccine, how do you properly distribute it? How do you get it out quickly?
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers and they do lots of other things that frankly are more difficult. But we have our general, and logistically he's all set.
Okay, good morning, Facebook Live, good morning, YouTube. What Orlando keeping it simple. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Sorry about that. The song cut off on us kind of short, but what's the name of that artist?
Hezekiah.
That artist's name is Hezekiah. And if you want to look up any of his music, you can go on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and listen to some of his music. He got some great music out there. Hezekiah, really good guy, really good music. So if you really want to ever hear some good music, go to Hezekiah on go to the YouTube, and it'll give you a lot of good music from him and a lot of other Hebrew brothers that we listen to. Oh, what's the name of the other guy? Antarctica. In Irica is a lot we get our music from. In Irica, I mean, to me, these guys are prophets of the old when it comes down to the music. The Most High really truly have blessed them to give us a prophetic music during the end times. Could you spell in Irica, or do you know how to spell it right offhand? I can't hear you.
I-N-A-R-A-C-A-A.
I-N-Y-A-R-A-C-H.
A-A.
A-A. So Hezekiah in Irica some good artists. If you ever want to listen to some of the music that we have and that we play, that my wife play on the music
and Sons of Shemites.
And the Sons of Shemites.
That's another artist.
It's Shemites is Shemite. So if you ever want to listen to any of the music that we listen to, you can go to Hezekiah on YouTube, then Enarica on YouTube, and Songs of Shemites. Son of Shemites. Son of Shemites on YouTube. And you can listen to a lot of our music. I'm going to tell you again. Hezekiah, Enarica, and Son of Shemite. Shemite is Shemites. Okay? So I hope everyone's week has been a great week. I hope the Most High truly have blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and joy. I hope the Most High really have truly blessed your offsprings with wisdom and knowledge and understanding and protection. I hope the Most High truly have blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and joy. And I hope the Most High really truly have blessed you. My week has been an okay week. I can't complain. And I won't complain about it. I just know that it is what it is. My experiences is what my experiences are, and it's just hard for me to deal with them sometimes because it really affects me in many ways. But I just ask that you know who truly love me and care for me, pray for me. But let us go ahead and get started this morning. Let us go ahead and go to Exodus chapter 20 verses 1 through 17. And it reads, And El spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah thy El, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And thou shalt have no other Els before me, and thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. And thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah thy El, am a jealous El, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Listen to that. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah thy El in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy El. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughter, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy fathers and thy mothers, that thy days be long upon the land which Yahuwah thy El giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. Let us do Yahuwah's prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine to the kingdom, power to the glory, forever and ever. So let it be. Amen, amen, amen. I want to go back to something I did last week. I was talking about don't call yourself African American, right? And the reason why I say don't call yourself African American, because African American is a trademark. The name African American is not a nationality, it's a trademark. Okay, and it says that the mark consists of a styled outline of the African continent with four horizontal lines defining 5 horizontal bands or sections, with the word American forming an arch above the outline and the word African forming an concentric arc above the word American. So when you look at the word African American, it's basically is a trademark that somebody put out here, or a patent that somebody put out here. And it's really not considered to be a classification of a nationality. It's considered to be a paper, a cardboard, good made from these materials, not including other classes, printed matter, book binding materials, photographs, stationaries, adhesive or stationaries or household purpose, artist, material, paint, brushes. So when you call yourself African American, you're basically just considering yourself a product. You're not considering yourself a nationality. Okay, what the word trademark means. And I'm going to give a lot of definition today. I want y'all to understand that. The word trademark is a type of intellectual property consisting of a recognizable sign, design, or expression that identify product or services from a particular source and distinguish them from others. The trademark owner can be an individual, business, organization, or legal entity. That's what a trademark is. A trademark owner can be an individual, business, organization, or any legal entity. So when you call yourself an African American, you're really associating yourself with a trademark that was put out by a man or individual that's making money off of the name African American. So when you do that, make sure you be mindful of that, because that name is patent. People are making money off that. Okay? So that's why you really shouldn't be calling yourself African American. You should really be doing research on your lineage, your genealogy lineage, and know who you are from a genealogy perspective or heritage perspective, so that you can really take ownership of who you are. If you want to call yourself an Aboriginal or Indian, what tribe did your ancestors come from? Most people that live in the southeast region come from the Cherokee Indians. So when you're looking at all that, you got to make sure that you understand that, okay? So let us go to Matthew chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10, verses 5 through 15. And the key verse is going to be verse 14. The key verse is verse 14. Okay? The key verse is verse 14. Matthew chapter 10, verses 5 through 15. And the key verse is verse 14. Okay? And it says, whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. And I'm going to read it over. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Okay? If I may give a title to the text today, the title of the text today is You Can't Save Everyone. The title of the text today is that you can't save everyone. I'm going to give you 3 definitions today. But let me go to Zechariah to reinforce to reinforce the title of the text today. Zechariah chapter 13 verses 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahuwah, 2 parts therein shall be killed, cut off, and die, but the third shall be left therein." If you had a pie that was cut into 3 sections, you look at 2/3 of the parts of that pie shall be killed or taken or eaten, and it only shall be a quarter of that pie left. So, or a third of that pie left. So you got to understand that the Most High is saying that everybody's not going to make it until in the heavens. Everybody's not going to make it. Everybody can't be saved. Okay? Then it says in Romans chapter 9 verse 27, and it says, "Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved." So we understand that only a remnant or a small portion of the population can really be protected from everything that's going on in the world today. Only a remnant. Only a remnant of people that's going to be saved. Even though the word was given to the whole world or the masses of people, only a remnant going to be saved. Everybody can't be saved. And that was one of the most difficult parts for me to understand this week, right? Because a lot of the times you have good intentions to help people and to try to do whatever you can do for people. Even when you're looking at it from the Messiah viewpoint, when he came down here on the earth, he came down here to try to do the best that he can to save the whole masses of the children of Israel. But you got to realize that some of the children of Israel crucified him and put him on that tree and hung him from that tree. So when you're looking at it from that viewpoint, the Messiah is telling everybody is not going to be saved, no matter what you try to do or how you try to do it or anything to that perspective. The hardest part for you to come to the realization that everybody can't be saved. Everybody can't be protected. Everybody cannot get to the promised land. Okay, I'm going to give you the 3 definitions today. I got 3 definitions. Choice. Choice. The act of choosing or selecting. It is a voluntary act of selecting or separating from 2 or more things that which is preferred, or the determination of the mind in preferring one thing to another. You have a choice on whether you want to be saved or not. It just depends on if you want to be saved, if you want to be protected. It's not guaranteed that people are going to be protected. It's not guaranteed that people are going to be saved in that sense. It is a choice on what people want. And if they want to be saved, they can be saved. But if they don't want to be saved, they will not be saved. That is the thing. The words, and I want you to understand something. All these words are 14th century words. That means that these words came after all the Bibles was written, and these words was implemented into the Bible to make it more comprehensive for the people who's reading the word. The word saved means delivered from damnation, destined for heaven, preserved from evil. Listen to that. Preserved from evil, injury, or destruction. Prevented, spared, or taken in time. Everybody is not going to be delivered from damnation because of a choice they have made. Everybody's not going to be delivered. And that's something that we as people have to understand. And that is a hard reality, but we got to get to the realization of life. Because we're at the gate, we at the door of everything breaking loose. But because of people's choices and what they have decided to do, it's going to either help them be protected from damnation or it's going to preserve them from damnation. But also you got to understand, last week the title of my text was Your Future is Bright, Israel. You can't keep a great nation down, but it's only going to be a remnant out of Israel. It's not going to be everyone out of Israel that's going to be saved, because all of Israel have not chose to listen to or take the choice of accepting the word of the Most High. Everybody is not accepting the word. Everybody is not doing what the word say do. Okay, it says redemption. Redemption is a repurchase of captured goods or prisoners. The act of procuring the deliverance of persons or things from the possession and power of captors by the payment of an equivalent ransom release as the equivalent to the of the ransom. It's a release as the release of prisoners taken in war. The rescue of a ship and cargo, deliverance from bondage, distress, or from liabilities to an evil or fortress, either by money, labor, or other means. So, when we look at those words, redemption means to basically be repurchased or released from something. And when you're released from something, you're able to be saved from that thing that you're released from. But it is a choice on whether you want it or not. It's not up to the Most High whether you be saved or not. It's you on whether you want to be saved or not. It ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. The Most High said, I'm going to present you with some information. I'm going to present you with this and I'm going to present you with that. And it's up to you whether you want to receive it or not. It ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. He's just here waiting on you to see if you're going to receive it. That's just basically it. If you want to receive the word of the Most High, you can have redemption and you can be saved. But if you choose not to, you're going to have damnation and be condemned. And that is something that we have to understand. It's all about your choices. Okay, and the reason why I say that, let's go to Joshua. Joshua chapter 4. Joshua chapter 24, verses 15. Because this is very important. This is very important. This is something that you really have to take heed to. Because you need to understand that today, June 3rd, is when the BRICS have signed and have released their currency into the world. That means that they really have broken out from using the fiat currency. That means that it's getting ready to be some really major turmoil that goes on in the world. It really is. In Joshua chapter 24, verse 15, he says, and if it seems evil unto you to serve Yahuwah, listen to this, choose. It's a choice. It's not something that you have to do. Choose you this day whom ye will serve. See, serving the Most High is a choice. It's not an obligation. And it's not something that you have to do. But in order for you to be saved and have redemption, you're going to have to choose Him. You're going to have to choose His Word. You're going to have to choose the prophets. You're going to have to choose this. It says, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whom land ye dwell. See, He giving them choices on who they can serve, and He giving them an option. Or you can serve the God in Egypt, you can serve the God in the U.S. But He said, but as for me and my house, we will serve Yahuwah. He gave you 3 options on who you can serve. It's up to you on what you want to do, how you want to do it, the way you want to do it. And whoever you decide to serve, that is what your outcome is going to be in your life. It's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You don't, I mean, you can't say I want to serve the God of the Egyptians, but I want the blessings from the Most High. It don't work like that. You can't say I want to serve the gods of the Amorites, but I still want the blessings of the Most High, but I want the things of the Egyptians. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You have a choice in how you want to live your life. That's why I said last week, where you are right now in your life is because of all the choices you made in your life. Nobody else had anything to do with your position where you are right now except for you. So you have to understand your choices. And you cannot be whatever it is. You can't feel a certain way. You can't be a certain way. But you got to look at the choices that you made. And say, hey, this is where I am because of me. Not because of nobody else. That is taking personal responsibilities for your actions. So now when Yahshua the HaMashiach came on the scene, right? He came on the scene. Let's go to Matthew chapter 9, verse 36. Jesus understood. Jesus was doing all these miracles. Yahshua was doing all these miracles when He came up on the scene, right? He was doing all these things for the people. He was doing all this stuff for the people. He was doing all these things, healing. He was preaching. He was doing all this stuff. But what He come to understand about the people is this right here in Matthew chapter 9, verse 36. He said, but when He saw the multitude, He was moved with compassion on them because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. As they faint, as sheep having no shepherd, meaning they did not have. He said they are like, he said they were just in bad condition. They were just in bad condition. That's basically what they were in. The people had bad leadership and they was in bad condition. That's what it means. The word faint means worried, exalted. They was in false and deceit. They was in shame. They was weak. They was lazy. They was cowardly. They was hesitant. They showed weakness. That's why I said a couple of weeks ago, black men in America are very fearful. Because we're in a situation where we are faint. our conditions as a people are very harsh and bad. So when he saw that, he saw the people's condition, which was worried, exhausted, they were deceit, they was shamed, they was weak, they was lazy, they were cowardly, they was hesitant. They showed weakness. They avoided one's duty by pretending. It was so much that they did as a person, as a people, as a nation. It moved to compassion because they really did not understand their condition. What they thought they was doing was actually not what they were doing. They was in a horrible condition. They was in a horrible condition. And the reason why they was in a horrible condition, let us go to 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10 and 11. I'm just going to go to 10 and 11. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10 and 11. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. This is the reason why they was in a fainted heart situation. For this cause God shall send them strong delusions, that they shall believe a lie. So when that strong delusion came on, it was a powerful, the strong delusion means powerful deceit. It was a powerful deceit on the earth. It was a powerful deceit on the earth when all this happened. So when you look at the word faint, it's because of the strong delusion that was on the earth, and that is the reason why they was walking in the way they was walking. Why? Because of the choices that they made. Because they either had to choose to serve the Egyptian God, the Amorites gods, or the Most High. So when you're starting to look at the story, or you're starting to look at everything that's going on in the world today, or just looking at the biblical text, you can honestly say a lot of us up under a strong delusion because we choose not to serve the Most High. We choose to serve the God of the Egyptians. We choose to serve the God of the Amorites. But we refuse to serve the God of them. We refuse to serve El. The Most High has sent prophets into the land. He has sent people to teach and preach the word. But a lot of people refuse to accept the word. So when we go back to Matthew chapter 10, right? Verses 5 through 15. No, let us go to Matthew chapter 13. Let us go down to Matthew chapter 13, verses 53, 54, and let us just go down there to a little bit, and I'm going to read it. I want us to understand something. In Matthew chapter 10, Yeshua was talking to his disciples about life, about what they're going to experience. Why they're going to experience. He was telling them the reason why you're going to experience the things you're going to experience is because the people are fainted. They're like a sheep without a shepherd. So when you understand that you're dealing with you're dealing with a lot of people like a sheep without a shepherd. That means that they don't have no intellect. They don't have no courage. They don't have the abilities to think for themselves. So when he understood that, he was telling his disciples that. Because this is a master's teaching the students on what to expect down the road. And that is a hard thing, even though the disciples understood it. But it was a hard pill for people to swallow. It's a hard pill to accept. Not willing to accept the truth as it is. Because people, and the reason why they're not willing to accept it, and I'm going to get that in a minute, but let us go ahead. And then it says in Matthew chapter 13, verse 53 through 55, or whatever. And it came to pass that when Jesus, or Yeshua, had finished these parables, he departed thence. And when he was coming to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, and so much that they was astonished, and said, which has this man this wisdom and these mighty works? What he was doing to them was unbelievable, and they could not understand how he had the abilities to teach the way he was teaching. They could not understand him. Listen to that. When it means fainted, it has something to do with the intellect. Then it says, listen to this. Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Miriam, and his brother James and Jose and Simon and Judas? And his sister, are they not all with us? Which then has this man all these things? They said, these people live with us, and this man produced a child, this lady produced a child like this that has all this wisdom? This is impossible. It's like my family saying that about me. They said this is impossible. But because of their intellect, because of their thought process, because of whatever it is that was going on in their minds, let's look at this. And they were offended in him. They were pushed into sin because of him. But Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not honored without a prophet is not without honor, saved in his own country, in his own house. He did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. They chose not to believe the things that Jesus could do or Yeshua could do because of his background. People choose not to listen to people because of what they think it is and not because of what it is. And because of their choices, they cannot be saved and have redemption. That's why it says that he did not many works there because of their belief, unbelief. And see, that's the sad part about reality, is that they can see that the people have a good heart. They can see that the people are trying to do the best that they can do. They can see what this person is saying is true. Just because of their conditions, their mindset, because of their fainted heart, they choose not to believe. So Yeshua experienced the same things that he told his prophets about. He told his prophets the same thing. Prior to him experiencing this. Because he knew that it was only going to be a small portion of people that really wanted to be saved. Everybody don't want to be saved. I remember when my wife and I, we used to go feed the less fortunate. Those people, all those people didn't want to come out the street. A lot of them wanted to stay on the streets. A lot of people want to stay in the conditions that they're in because they feel like that is the only thing that they know. They don't want to deviate. They don't want to move from that. Because they think what they think is right. They think the way they think they're living is right. So people have made choices for what their conditions are. And you just got, and the hardest part is you accepting that. The hardest part is you accepting what their choices is. And you got to allow them to go through whatever choices that they made. That's the bottom line. You cannot, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. And see, that's the hardest part about our reality. That was the hardest part about Yeshua's reality. That was the hardest part about the disciples' reality. Because the Most High have anointed certain people to see. He have taken them off. He taken the strong delusion off them so that they could see the natural truth. And he sent those people out to teach. But understanding that everybody ain't going to receive it. And then because they choose not to. Not because they don't want to. They choose not to because they don't want it. They are comfortable in their own state, whether it's physical or spiritual. So now, when we go to Matthew chapter 10, verses 5, let's look at it. Yeshua is giving directions to his disciples, and he's telling them these things. He said, these 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the children, into the way of the Gentiles, no, and into any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not. He said, don't go to the Gentiles and don't go to the Samaritans. If you call yourself a Gentile, the Most High told his disciples, don't go to you. He said, go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And understand something. A lot of us say we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel, but don't really understand the word lost. He said lost for a specific reason. He said lost for a specific thing. Because lost means wasted, ruined, gone astray, perish, proud, or destroyed. He said, go to the destroyed, go to the ruins, go to the gone astray, perish, proud, or destroyed house of Israel. That's what he said do. That is not just a mental state, that is a physical state as well. He said the house of Israel have been lost, they have been destroyed, they have been ruined, they have been wasted, they have gone astray, they have been perished, they have been destroyed. He said, I want you to go to those type of conditions of people for you to talk to. Because they are the ones that need the most help. They are the ones that's in a decapitated state. The children of Israel that are lost, I need you to go to them. Because they are the ones that are fainted. They are the ones that had a shepherd that misled them. They are the ones that's doing all this crazy stuff, and I need you to get a hold to them. I need you to get them so that you can bring them out of that captivity. I need you to redeem them and save them. Let us go to Jeremiah chapter 33. Jeremiah chapter 33, verses 8 and 9. Jeremiah chapter 33, verses 8 and 9. And it reads, and it said, I will cleanse them from all their iniquities, whereby they have sinned against me. I will pardon all their iniquities whereby they have sinned and whereby they have transgressed against me. And it shall be to me a name of joy, a praise, and an honor before all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all the goods that I do unto them. And they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure unto them. But the word lost means iniquity, sins, transgressions. That's what the word lost means. It's talking about a nation whose character and behavior is not right. That is what it's talking about. When you say, I'm the lost sheep of the house of Israel, you're talking about a nation who have sinned and transgressed against the Most High. That's what you're actually calling yourself. Because you understand that you have been messed up. You've been jacked up. You've done some things that wasn't appropriate. Let us go to Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 13. Matthew chapter 13, 14, and 15. Because I want to talk about this for a few seconds. Because this is one of the most important verses to understand about the loss. It's talking about a character of a nation of people. And it reads, therefore I speak to them in parables. Listen, the reason why Yeshua spoke to the thing about it is talking about the wide road and the narrow road. That's part of this. Therefore speak I to them in parable, because they seeing see not, hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. He's saying you're going to be able to hear some words and you're really not going to truly understand the word because your choices. He said you're going to be able to hear it, but also you're going to see a lot of things going on in the world, but you ain't going to even be able to perceive what's going on because you really truly have not accepted or choose to follow the Most High. Then it says, for this people's heart is wax gross. Wax gross. What does wax gross means? Stupefied. Stupefied means make someone unable to think or feel properly. It means slow, sluggish, feeling no emotions, feeling or showing no sympathy for others, no emotions to suffer. They think it is a game. That's what the word max gross means. It means someone who is stupid. Make someone unable to think or feel properly. It means feel no emotions, feeling or showing no sympathy for others. That's what that word wax gross means. That you really don't care about whatever it is. You really don't care because, hey, it is what it is. And then it says their ears are dull of hearing. Their ears are dull of hearing. The word dull means lack interest or excitement or brightness. It means they don't really have any interest in the word of the Most High. He said they're not just stupid, they don't even have no interest in studying the word, in interest in doing the right thing, in interest of really trying to understand what's going on. They don't care. He said, then it says their eyes, they have closed. Means that they have emotionally shut down from reality. That's what the word closed means. That means that they're not living in the reality. They're living in la-la land. He said that they don't even have no emotion. They don't show no sympathy. He said that they're not even excited about the word. And they're not even living in their reality. Then it says they have closed. Least, but listen to this. Least means but or if. But at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand with their hearts and should be converted. Should be converted, I shall hear them. At that point there, least, but, or if means depend on them, whether what they want to do. Because they have a choice to have sympathy. They have a choice to have emotions. They have a choice to be excited about the word. They have a choice to want to be able to see reality for what it is. They have a choice. He said, but if at any time they should see with their eyes the reality what's going on and hear with their ears with intellect and should understand their hearts, means to be brilliant in mind, and should be converted means change your lifestyle, and I should heal them. People are in the conditions they're in because of what they want, not because of the Most High. The Most High ain't got nothing to do with where you are. The Most High ain't got nothing to do with your situation. He got something to do with it, but he don't have nothing directly to do with it because it's your choice. It's your choice. Like sometimes I be wanting, I know that I need to work out 5 days a week. I know I need to get my butt up and work out. I know I need to do specific things to make myself better. But I choose to lay in the bed, or I choose not to eat right, or I choose to do this. That's on me. I got high blood pressure because of me. The Most High didn't make me have high blood pressure. He told me what I need to do not to have it, but what I choose to do. Eat food, know it ain't good for me. Eat a lot of sugar, know it ain't good for me. But I blame the Most High because I got these issues. I blame the Most High because I got these problems. But I want to elevate to another level. It's not nobody's choice but mine. I haven't progressed on my place of employment because of me. It ain't because of nobody else. I chose not to do that. I'm in complacent. I'm fearful. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Let us go back to let us go to Acts chapter 3. We gotta start giving the blame to the Most High and look at ourselves. It's the choice that we make. It says, unto you first God, unto you first El, having raised up his son, Yeshua, sent him to bless you in turning away every one of you from your sins, your iniquities. Acts chapter 3 verse 26. Listen to this. Unto you first, El. Sent him to bless you. The word bless means to prosper, praise, invoke, to thank, to speak well of. But I'm going to use the word prosper you. Unto you first, El, having raised up his son, Yeshua, sent him to prosper you in turning away every one of you from his iniquities. Meaning that he came to you to try to get you to turn back from your ways, but you got to make that choice. Is it a hard choice? Yes. Is it difficult? Yes. But you got to do it if you want to have redemption, if you want to be saved, and if you want to be able to be in the new, if you want to be able to survive what's coming, to have a bright future. Your future depends on you. It don't depend on nobody else. Everything that you do now will affect your future, whether it's good or bad. Let us go back to Matthew chapter 10. Verse 7. Now once he told them, don't go to the Gentiles, don't go to the Samaritans. Just deal with the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The word lost means wasted, perished, despaired. It means ruined, gone astray. He went to a specific people because of their behavior, because the Gentiles and the Samaritans were doing what they were supposed to do because of who they are. Gentile means ungodly people. Samaritans is an ungodly people. That is who they are by nature and by natural. But the Israels are the anointed one, but they are lost because of whatever they've been through. Now he says in verse 7, as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. They had 5 things they needed to do. They needed to preach. They needed to heal. They needed to cleanse. They needed to raise. And they needed to cast out devils. The 12 disciples had 5 things they needed to do. Then it says, freely ye have received, freely give. Why did he say, freely ye have received? Because if I sit down and open up the Word today and start studying, didn't nobody charge me. The Most High didn't charge me to teach me the Word. Nobody charged me to teach me the Word. He didn't charge me and say, Orlando, okay, if you want this, I'm going to have to charge you. I want you to give me something for that. No, he gave it to me freely. Because this is something I wanted. This is something that I wanted for myself. So because this is something that I wanted for myself, he gave it to me. So because he gave it to me freely, that means that I should give it to other people freely. These preachers shouldn't be riding around in these Bentleys and these Porsches and all this other stuff. Because if the Most High gave them the wisdom and the knowledge freely, they should be wanting to give to everybody else freely. The reason why he said, because he set it up, right? He set it up, right? He says, verse 9, he say, verse 8, it said at the bottom, he said, you got 5 things you need to do. Preach, heal, cleanse, raise, cast out devils. Then he says, freely ye have received, freely give. Then it says, verse 9, provide. The word provide doesn't mean to give. The word provide means to acquire, own, or obtain. Okay, it says, let me substitute a word for that. It says, it requires acquire neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purse. Obtain neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purse. He said, don't ask for money, nor scripts for your journey, neither 2 coats nor shoes, nor yet kill for food. For the workman is worthy of his meat. He said, don't ask for nothing and don't give nothing. Don't ask for anything and don't take nothing for yourself. He said, because if you're doing what you're supposed to do, people will take care of you. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, people ain't gonna take care of you. That's what that last portion says. It says, for the workman is worthy of his meat. If you're preaching, you're healing, you're cleansing, you're raising the dead, and you're casting out devils, people will take care of you. You don't have to go out here and beg, borrow, and steal to get something when the Most High will provide for you when you're doing what you're supposed to do. That's what that verse is saying. That's exactly what that verse is saying. Then, in verse 11, it says, in whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy. Listen to that. Who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thence. He said, only stay with the worthy people. The people who's worthy, who's need you. Let me look it up. The word worthy means due reward. Suitable. Who's willing to receive what you have. That's what basically worthy means. Inquire who is willing to receive what you have to offer. And there abide till ye go thence. He said, don't deal with nobody who's not willing to receive what you have to offer or accept. And it says, and when ye come into a house, salute it, greet it. Greet it, embrace it. Unionize with them. Come together with them. Because they are willing to accept what you have to offer. And if the house be worthy, willing to receive you, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, not willing to accept you, let your peace return to you. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. I'm going to deal with this for a second. I'm going to deal with the word receive. Whosoever shall not receive you. The word receive in that manner means to accept. They have the abilities to accept what they're saying or not. I don't want to use the word receive. It means to accept. Accept you. Listen, whosoever shall not accept you, nor your words. It's a choice. People had that choice at that point. That word accept means to take to what was offered. Admit or agree with the proposal. To take or receive willingly. They had a point at this time. He said, whoever is not willing to accept what you're saying, don't even live with these people. Don't even deal with these people. Because they have a choice at that point in time to whether they accept it or not. Let's go to 1 Samuel. That's something we got to deal with. And that's an internal issue. That's not an external issue. That's an internal issue, whether you want to accept something or not. Whether you want to deal with something or not. That's an internal issue. It's an internal issue mentally and spiritually. It says, and Yahuwah said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee. Listen to that. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. That is the hardest part. That's what the Most High is telling to his disciples. He said, listen to me as I talk to you, my disciples. You go into these people's houses and you look who's worthy, means who's willing to accept what you have to offer. And if they allow you, and if they're willing to accept what you had to offer, you stay with them. But if they're not willing to accept you, you leave. And he said, don't feel bad. He said, not because they rejected you, but they rejected the person who sent you. They rejected me. So when people reject the Most High, reject the prophets, they're not rejecting the prophets. They're rejecting the Most High. That's what the ultimate thing is that the people are not rejecting the prophets who were sent. They was rejecting the person who was sent the prophets. Let us go to Mark chapter 8. Mark chapter 6. And see, that's the thing. A lot of people don't really realize that. They're not rejecting the people whoever came into their life or whatever the case may be. They're rejecting the person who sent them. Like I go to somebody and say, God told me to come to you and feed you. And he said, no, man, I don't want that from you. No, it ain't for you. You ain't taking it from me. You ain't taking it from the Most High. Mark chapter 6 verse 11, it says, who shall ever now receive your words? Whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear you, when ye depart thence, shake off the dust under your feet for a testimony against them. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the days of judgment than for that city. He said, for anybody who rejected me, it's going to be worse for them than Sodom and Gomorrah. And see, a lot of people don't even understand why they live in turmoil. A lot of people don't even understand that. And think the way they living is right. But it was a choice they made. It was a choice they made. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. Chapter 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. Okay, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. Okay, it says, he therefore that despises not man, but El, who has also given unto us his Holy Spirit. See, when you reject the person that came to you, you're not rejecting him, you're rejecting the Most High. And that because we're such in this physical realm, and because we're in Babylon, and because of all this stuff that's going on, this selfishness that's going on in the world today, we think that we're always right. We think that our ways are right. We think that everything of the Egyptian ways is right, the Amorite ways are right, but we do not think about the Most High. The Most High word is a selfless word. Most High word is all about other people and not yourself. It says that Yahshua came into the world to save the world. I'm paraphrasing. Save the world. That means that he was selfless. It wasn't about him. He was just doing the mission of his Father. In John chapter 4, St. John chapter 6, verse 40, it reads, and this is the will of him that sent me. Listen to this. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believe on the Son may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last days. When you believe in me, you're believing in the Father. If you listen to my word and you take heed to my word, and you study what I say, and you believe it, you're not believing in me, you believe in who sent me, which is the Father. But if you don't believe me, you don't believe the Father. Let us go back to Matthew chapter 10. And see, that's why I say that. It's a matter of choices on what you're going to do. If you don't accept my word, because of your conditions, it is very difficult, I understand, for you to accept the word. And because it's hard and difficult for you to accept the word, let's see what happens. And it says, verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the days of judgment than for the city or that person who rejected you. See, the Most High sent prophets into your life for a reason. He sent prophets to the cities. He sent prophets to wherever they go for a specific reason. To save people from the judgment. But people choose to make the judgment. People choose to do whatever they want to do. Because that's what their choice. You have a choice whether you want redemption or damnation. I only got 2 for you today on this one. Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 16. Verses 48 through 56. And I'm not going to read the other one. 48 through 56. And it reads, As I live, said Yahuwah, El of Sodom and Gomorrah, Sodom thy sister has not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done. Thou and thy daughters. What it said, the Most High said, the time that you're in now, you have done more, your actions were worse than the ones that was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah had a lot of stuff going on. But he said, in the days that you're in now, you're worse than Sodom. Then it says, behold, this was the iniquities of thy sister Sodom. This was the issues that Sodom had. This was the problems. She had pride. She had fullness of bread and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hands of the poor and needy. Listen to that. These are the problems that Sodom had. She was very proudful. She was full of food and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughter. Neither did she strengthen, neither did she feed the poor and the needy. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. She said they was crazy as all get out. She said they were selfish, they were prideful, they had it going on, and they just did. They saw people on the street that were poor and didn't feed them. And then she said they were haughty and committed abominations. He said that's the reason why I took them away. Then it says, neither has Samaria committed half of thy sins, but thou hast multiplied thy abominations more than they, and hast justified thy sister in all thy abomination which thou hast done. Thou also, which hast judged thy sister, bear thy own shame. He said, you're going to bear your own shame. For thy sins that thou hast committed more abominable than they. They are more righteous than thou. We talk about Sodom and Gomorrah being burned up with brimstone, hell and brimstone. What about us? Because we're worse. It says, yea, thou be confounded also and bear thy shame, in that thou hast justified thy sister. It says, when I shall bring again their captivity, the captivity of Sodom and her sisters, the captivity of Samaria and her sisters, then will I bring again the captivity of the captives in the midst of them, that they may bear their own shame, that may be confounded in all that thou hast done, and that thou art a comfort unto them. They said they're not going to feel so bad after they saw what you did compared to what they did. They're like, man, your stuff was jacked up. Mine wasn't that bad, but yours jacked up. It says, thou may bear thy own shame and may be confounded in all thou hast done. And thou art a comfort unto them. When thy sister Sodom and her daughters shall return to their former estate, and the Samaritans, her daughters, shall return to their former estate. Then thou and thy daughters shall return to your former estate. For thy sister Sodom was not mentioned by the mouth in the days of thy pride. but thy wickedness was discovered as at the time of thy reproach of the daughters of Syria, and all that round about her, the daughters of the Philistines, which despise thee round about. Thou hast borne thy lowliness, and thy abomination, saith Yahuwah. See, harm comes to people who rejects the word of the Most High. If you're going to reject or not accept the word of the Most High because of your conditions, harms come to you. And that's the sad reality. Everybody want to get to the new kingdom, but everybody don't want to make the choices that need to be made. See, I'm going to close with this one again. And it reads, if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahuwah, choose you this day whom you will serve. Whether the gods of your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahuwah. So, Father, as we come to you today, we thank you, we bless you, we praise you. We give you all the honor and the glory. Abba, we thank you for everything that you have done. We thank you for everything that you're doing. Abba, we just thank you. We give you all the praise and honor and the glory. Abba, we thank you for giving us eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mouth to speak. But Abba, we ask that you continue to give us wisdom and knowledge and understanding of your word. Abba, we understand that everything is a choice. And we ask that you help us make the right choices. We ask that you remove us from our former conditions of being lost, ruined, waste, despised, hurt, destroyed, punished, and perished. Remove us from that and just take us to a whole new nation, the house of Israel. Let us get rid of the word lost in front of our name and just give us the name the house of Israel, because we've been restored. But let us be able to accept the words of the prophets. Let us be able to accept your word. Let us be able to not have that fainted heart of laziness and all that comes with that. And let us be able to seek your word diligently so that we can continue to do the right thing. We know we're in a decapitated state, and we know that we've done some things that's not righteous. We ask that you forgive us for the sins that we have committed, knowingly and unknowingly. We ask that you direct our footsteps and continue to lead us and guide us and cover us. And all these things we pray in your higher name. So let it be. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Happy Sabbath day.
Zion. Hey, yo, Rain. Turn that up. Only a few of us gonna make it out. Zion. Only you remnant. 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 When is my people gonna learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take you, the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only you remnant. 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 When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take you, the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only a remnant. We at the end and we feeling it. We the sand of the sea, but a remnant. Shall return to the word when they hearing it. We the sons of Israel. Our word will never fail. Baptizing in Jacob's well. Holy Spirit ain't playing for real. When you get protected, he's sending them plagues. I'm trying to make sure that he's sitting red. All in my life, all in my head, all in my walk, all in my legs. You don't got that blood, you walking dead. Walk as he walk, we should live what it said. Only a remnant gonna be spared. Only a remnant gonna be spared. Abba gon' get us out of these countries. Abba said, let me see who really want me. Forsaking our houses, forsaking our money. We got that signal from heaven, he coming. Drinking his cup, nobody running. Flesh getting weak, but the spirit is gunning. We see the prophecy, we know he coming. We see the prophecy, we know he coming. But it's only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take up the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take up the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return.
That's how my heart is for you. And the sun he died for you. Yes, it's true, yes, it's true. You didn't have no clue. That's because nobody told you. They couldn't afford to. Called you monkey like you Goku. It ain't like nobody owed you. We broke the law and they sold you. We did this all to ourselves, Jacob. Now it's the time that you know the truth. You don't know you so special. You don't even see what's next though. So we cry, cry, cry. Only remnants gonna make it out of here alive. Please repent my people, cause we at the end of time.
Only a remnant, 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 only a remnant. When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We take up the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only a remnant, only a